Hello and welcome to this week's Scoping Out Tools, and this week I am going to be looking at this diamond sharpener kit from Diasharp. I just bought this off a certain website retail store. It was recommended on a Facebook channel which was on hand turning or hand manual wood lathe turning kit, and they talked about this for sharpening, and it's relatively inexpensive for it to try. I think it was about £30, and interestingly they actually do have some electron microscope images at the back, so let's actually have a look at these when I actually open them. So I'm going to be opening with a knife, so I always put my sharpening gloves on that, so I always just protect myself. So first things first, it's got 3 colour codes, and it is the blue is the coarse, red is fine, and green is extra fine. If I actually have a look at the back, they do actually give the different sizes, what they mean by coarse. So coarse is 45 microns, which is a 325 mesh, and it's obviously, they also say it's blue at the top. You've got red fine, which is a 25 micron 600 mesh, and you've got a 9 micron and 1200 mesh. They do actually have a couple of others, which is 8000 mesh and 120 mesh and a 220 mesh, which is 120 micron, 60 micron and a 3 micron accordingly. Now up at the top, and what I might do is I might put a still shot of this so that you can actually see what I'm talking about here. So I'm just gonna open this up. And it does say it's made in the USA. Obviously I didn't buy it from the USA, but I suppose Amazon is a certain web is there. Okay, and so on it, and as I say, I'll take a picture and blow this up. There's, if you look on the left hand side, you've actually got the DMT quality, and they've also got an imitator off to the side. Now it does mention that there's a warning that the product contains nickel, and it's apparently it's something that can cause cancer, and it's mentioned in California. Now, so I'm expecting the diamond to obviously be carbon, diamond's carbon, and also the matrix material must be nickel. So yeah, so let's actually see what these would be like. Now obviously you won't need to use oil, you can use water or dry. I do have Homewrite, which is a spray, which means that if I do spray water on it, it should be anti-rust. And yeah, so let's actually have a little look at the actual kit first. This is likely going to be another part of the video anyway, so it might be part 1 is the introduction and then the optical, then part 2 maybe the electron microscope part. Okay, so blue is 45 micron, so this is the coarsest of it. So it looks to be just clipped in and stuck onto this plastic grip. It seems to be holding all right. There are some marks on it, and I should be able to investigate those. So that'll be the good job in the optical microscope to check that. What's quite nice, I think, is that they do actually have the little description. Basically it must be, I'm assuming on every kit has the same part, but it does have that quick green, red, blue at what the at what each would actually give out at. So same, let's just check the red, which is the medium. A little handy little grip as well. I'm not sure if these holes means that you can actually push that to actually pop the blade out after you're finished and you can get a spare. I might have to actually look that up. Now, yeah, that's looking the same. Now that's got an 8. This had a 1 on it. I'll check what the other one has. I don't know if the 8 has any meaning. Again, there's a couple of little blemishes on it, and actually that, it looks like they might be insets, so they might be little nicks, and that's why I'm wanting to maybe do a little optical microscope station here in the garage, so I can just actually have a quick look straight away. And just for completeness, the green, which is actually maybe got a 6 on it, so that doesn't necessarily match the, it doesn't necessarily match the order of anything, because green is the smallest. Now they've also got a month and possibly a year, so I'm assuming, and I'll zoom this up maybe with a still image, that it was produced in 2015, on October 2015. But I will have a little look to see if that actually is what I think it means. So if it is, that's 10 years it's been since the date of manufacture. Okay, so 3 blades, they're quite lightweight. They are heavier that side. Obviously you're gonna probably be holding it, and this is how I'm gonna be moving the, like on the wood turning chisel, and I will be looking at the sharpness of it. I probably can't put my wood turning chisels into the microscope, so what I might do is, I've got a load of these blades. I've got them Vaunt blades, and they are probably not going to be the best sharpened. So what I might do is, I might actually just polish 4 different blades using the different grits, and based on that I should then be able to compare them against the finished one, and then the other 3 parts. So 3 diamond sharp blades. Let's have a look at it under the individual optical microscope first. Just to also add, there is a QR code should you want to view these as a demo. They are called the Diasharp Mini Hone, and there is a telephone number and website if you were wanting to see them directly. And there is also something that also mentions that it's available in both straight and offset models. I don't necessarily know what the straight and offset is, but hopefully if you visit their website you can actually find out. So I just thought I'd one last thing while I think about it is, it's GRB, not RGB. So normally you would be expecting it to be a red, green, blue as for the spectra, but this is actually GRB, blue, red, green, or green, red, blue. So it just seems a very strange choice of colours. I mentioned about the electron microscope having a larger depth of focus, which helped things, and so we can actually see one thing you have. This is a diamond sharpeners. It's a 9 micron particle size, so it's a little bit of a struggle to see these particles. Now, one thing that we can do is we can also check for contamination, but you can see it can be quite difficult to actually get a nice image of this, and I can see it's quite well populated, and we will have a little look further. But even if I go for the larger size, so this size is 25 micron, yeah, we can start to see the particles here. And on top of that, this might actually be a contamination from the larger system because they're all sharing the same bag, or it's from the material that I've polished away. If I just move this a little bit further down, you'll probably see a lot more junk on it. So this stuff here, this is some of the material that I've polished off with the sort of scratches. But if I just move to the largest size, which is 45 mesh, just a little bit faster, right? And if I just move this to sort of focus out, and here we go, we can see the larger particles here. So they're a lot more pronounced, so how quickly they actually become much easier to see. And what we're doing is we're looking at the dispersal aspect of it. And if I just move a little bit further down to where I've started cutting material, and I'm just going by sight, so I think the material is starting to be from here, so you can see that the image becomes less clear, and hopefully we will be able to actually check if anything, if I'm losing the particles, if they're getting removed. But for that I need to go to the electron microscope. Let's first start looking at the 45 micron, which is blue, and we can see that here. So let's zoom that up, and we start to see the different crystals on it. Right, so these are your diamond particles, and if we just pop onto one of them, I'm wondering if I will actually get a little bit of charge on this, because this is yeah, so see this sample drift, this is the sample charging, so I'll deal with that in a minute. But basically this is your diamond particles, and more importantly we're seeing some stuff that is actually on the surface as well. It seems to be a good coverage. Size wise, this is a 50 micron. Yeah, so they're a little bit smaller than 45, which must mean that they do 45 as the minimum size, sorry, maximum size. So fairly happy with the quality of these. So we're at about, if I take it up here, that's about 1,000 times, and we can see about 4 crystals in the middle of it. So let's pop over to the red one. I'm just going to double click, and I'm just going to move that over. Likely it will have a little bit of focusing after it arrives, and here we are. So you can see how we've actually reduced in the size. Now if I just come out a little bit, there's a little bit more space in between, still a fair amount of coverage. So, and as I say, I can see some stuff that is embedded in the background as well, which hopefully means that as I'm scratching through, it doesn't like there is still some stuff before it as well. So I'm not sure if they put the diamond on the top, or if they put it as a slurry with the nickel. I am getting a nickel in the EDS signal. If I just zoom up on this area, so this is when you can actually see the facets of it. If I just do a quick freeze of that image, it's not massively clear, but I'll just do a simple measure, basic angle measure, and let's see, 2, 3, and 111.5. So I would be expecting it to be a face center cubic, so measurement error in that. It could be that it's a 107, which means we are looking down a 110 face of my diamond material. Not massively important, and I'd need to explain to you what 110 was, but I'm not going to do that for now. So this is at 2,500. This is your 10 micron bar across, so we can actually see it. It should be, this one is 25 micron. Yeah, I'd say that's a good indication of it. Let's just check. Yep, so less than 20 there. So yeah, again, all right coverage. That's fine for me. I'm using actually 10 kV because that's what they've actually put on their diagram. So let's jump over to the very fine, which is 3 micron. And we'll just do a quick focus. Getting a little bit more chargy as we get less smaller particles, but I'm just having a little look over. Let's do a quick little contrast brightness, and this is a small bit. Yeah, so it's a little bit further spread out. Again, I've got some embedded parts. There might be a few bits of contamination, but that's just because I'm keeping all the 3 blades next to each other, so I might want to actually remove those. I could always use a bit of a rubber to actually remove any of the loose particles. So I'm just going to switch to a lower voltage actually. Let's try a lower voltage. So this is me dropping from 10 kV down to 3 kV. And see, I've got a lot of charge on this system, so you can actually see that I'm seeing it actually inside, so that shows how much charge I actually had. Okay, and I am just added in a little bit of gas to help the pressure, and if I just zoom up, and I'm just going to use a reduce scan just to make it a little bit clearer, and let's just pop up and maybe just do a slow scan. Okay, so this is now 25 micron, this is a 3 micron particle. So if I just hold down the 1 micron in size, we're at about 18,000 times magnification, and we can see that we've got a few little nickel particle parts here. This is on the left hand side is your diamond crystal, and the right hand side is the nickel medium that's put on it. I'm just going to switch to a backscatter just to make it a little bit easier to see, so that we can actually see the rough nature of it. And that is your diamond crystal. So 18,000. That's all right. And I'm just, so you can see actually the nickel surface being undulating. We've got a few other smaller particles. Let's just jump to fast just to help it along, and let's just jump over to another nice crystal. And maybe what we'll do is let's pop over to one of the big ones, the big crystals. Okay, and just come out. Let's just do a quick focus. And let's switch back over to our Lovac secondary. And I'll bring this out. No, switch back to secondary. Right, okay. So if we just do a slow scan of it, we can start to see the facets. Now, if I just double click and move that to the center, let's just zoom up on one of these. This is about 12,000 times 1 micron, and you've got some smaller 1 micron particles. These are likely nickel particles from the actual matrix itself. So, Diasharp sharpening kit, it's pretty good. Likely this is a polycrystalline diamond. Nice facets. It's got some good structure there. To be honest, I've looked at other diamond stuff with in my position. Sometimes these diamond stuff is coated themselves. This one's not. But yeah, it's showing up as pretty alright. So yeah, so I actually see how there is texture in the background here, and it looks like a lot of fracture in the grey area. That is actually where a particle has actually pulled away from it. So okay, so let's just come down, and just for reference, let's just bring it down. Let's jump over to the other one, so that this is a middle one, which is 25 micron, and let's just give that a bit of focus again. This is just for completeness and a nice image to end up on. So yeah, fair enough coverage. Maybe about, this is a 500 times. I've got maybe coverage is about 25% to, yeah, maybe about 35%. That seems to be okay. Comparing against their data sheet, it seems a little bit less, but yeah, we'll see on it. So yeah, very good. So I just realised I never did an outro, so I'm just in my little side office, and I am just gonna say thank you very much for watching. There will be uploading the same time as my pen concept video. The pen concept video isn't as much as I like, but because it's the last third part, I just thought I'd put it there. So Diasharp, yeah, we'll see how they perform over time. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Scoping Out Tools.